Hello student of class 11th. Once again we are here with a new video, and the topic we are covering in this video is addition of vector, and the chapter is motion in two dimension or motion in a plane. In the previous video we had discussed about vector, so just revising the thing what we had discussed. After that we will start the addition of vector by triangle and parallelogram method. So let us start the chapter. Now everyone is knowing that what is scalar and vector quantity. The scalar quantities which have only magnitude and no direction are called scalar. For example, mass, distance, time, speed, volume, density, pressure, work, energy, electric current, temperature, etc. And vector quantities, the quantities which have magnitude as well as direction and obey the triangle of vector addition or law of parallelogram vector addition are called vector quantities. For example, position, displacement, velocity, force, acceleration, weight, momentum, impulse, electric field, magnetic field, current density, etc. are the vector quantities. So it is very important to understand the thing that quantities which have magnitude as well as direction, it is the very common thing now to define the vector, but one thing is also written here that the vector quantities are those only which obey the triangle of vector addition or the law of parallelogram of vector addition. It is the very required property to be a vector quantity in addition to direction and magnitude. So few examples also are here to understand the scalar and vector quantities, so it is very important to learn it. Next, how to represent a vector quantities. This also we had discussed, but here with the example I want to discuss once again to revise the thing. This is a map, east, west, north, south is drawn here, and a vector quantity can be represented by an arrow. This arrow is called the vector. The length of the arrow represents the magnitude and the tip of the arrow represents the direction. If you see the yellow color line, yellow color arrow, it is showing the velocity of car A. So if car A runs with a velocity of 10 meter per second towards east and another car run with a velocity of 20 meter per second, the car B towards northeast. If you see the red color arrow, it is showing the velocity of car B and the magnitude is 20 meter per second and the direction is northeast. These velocities can be represented by vector shown in the figure and taking each unit of length of an arrow to the 5 meter. If you see in the yellow color, you are seeing one line, so that is the velocity of car 10 meter per second and it is the unit 5 meter per second, means the length of the arrow is divided into two parts. So 5 means 10 meter per second. In the red color it is divided into 4 parts and each part is of 5 meter per second, means the length of the arrow is showing the magnitude of velocity 20 meter per second and the direction is northeast. Next is equality of vector. In this figure, if you see the three red arrows are in the same direction, are of the same length, so they are called equal vector, and the arrow D which is opposite to C, A and B, so it is negative vector, or we can say it is non-parallel vector, or we can say it is unequal vector to the given vector. So two or more vectors are said to be equal if and only if they have the same magnitude and same direction. Two vectors are said to be equal only when they have same magnitude and same direction. If the direction reverse, then also the equality is changed, means they will be not equal. Equal condition is there only the vector should be in the same direction and of same value. If the direction changes, then the vector also changes. If you see in this figure, it is very clear here. A, B and C are equal vector, and if the direction of the vector is reverse, the sign of the vector is reverse, and this new vector is known as negative vector of the original vector. So here vector D is the negative vector of vector A, B and C, and we can write it A is equal to B is equal to C and it is equal to minus D. So this is the way how to represent the equal vectors. Now addition of vector. So addition of two vector we had understand in the previous video also, but here again you can revise. Suppose two vectors are there, a and b, and we have to add it. So first you draw the vector a. We have drawn the vector a and vector b, which is at some angle. So the tail of the vector b is on the head of the vector a. So starting from the arrowhead of a, the vector b is drawn. Vector a, the arrowhead, we had started the vector b. Now draw a vector r. We had drawn the vector r from the initial point of a to the end point of the b. That is r, which is drawn with the red line, and r is equal to a plus b. So this is a resultant. Now we can draw it in another way also. If you see, we had drawn the vector a, and at the tail of the vector a we had put the arrowhead of the vector b. So this is also a plus b. Now here r dash is equal to b plus a. So two vectors can be added in this way, but the resultant will be same. Vector r and r dash obtained in the previous slides are parallel to each other and their length and direction are same. Therefore we can write r is equal to r dash, and therefore a plus b, vector a plus vector b is equal to vector b plus vector a, and this addition of vectors is known as commutative, and this method of vector addition is called method of triangle of vectors. Now addition of two vector, it is a method of parallelogram. So according to this method, if you see the two vectors a and b, they are at the starting at the same common point, and we had drawn parallel of a and the vector parallel to b, and the red line which is showing here is the resultant of a and b. If you see here, the vector b, the tail of vector b and the tail of vector a are at the same point. So this is another method of adding of two vectors known as the method of parallelogram of vectors. According to this method, the sum of two vector a and b is a vector r represented by the diagonal of the parallelogram whose adjacent sides are represented by vector a and b. Now if you see here, there are so many figures here. If vector a, I am talking about the yellow color, vector a and vector b, they are in the same direction, but they have different length, means different magnitude, and the vector r, which is the resultant, is maximum, means it is more than vector a and vector b. So what does it mean? It means that when the two vectors are in the same direction, and if we are finding the resultant, it is more than the given vector. If you see the figure number 2, vector a and vector b at some different angle, and the resultant r is drawn in this way. In the third, vector a and vector b are perpendicular, see the resultant r, and in the fourth, vector a and vector b are opposite to each other, so the resultant r is smaller than the given value. So in this way we can understand the addition of vector. The magnitude of the sum of two vectors depend upon the angle between the vector in the adjoining figure. Very important thing is, if the angle between two vectors is changes, the resultant also changes. So the two vector a and b are added by changing the angle between them, keeping their magnitude unchanged. In it is seen that sum of r a and b is maximum when a and b are parallel, that is when the angle between them is 0, and the magnitude of r would be a plus b. When the angle between a and b is 180 degree, means they are opposite to each other, the resultant will be a minus b, and in this case the resultant is minimum. So by changing the angle between two vectors, the resultant also get changed. So the maximum resultant when it is when the angle between two vectors is 0, and minimum when the angle between the two vectors is 180 degree. Now if we have to add more than two vectors, if you see in the figure, there are many vectors, they are originating from the single point, vector a, vector b, vector c and vector d. So according to the given direction, we can adjust the vector. Suppose we had drawn the vector A first. At the arrow of the vector A, we had put the tail of the B in the same direction. At the A and B, if you find the resultant, it is E. Now again, vector C is drawn at the arrowhead of the E, and F is the resultant. At F, we had drawn the new vector D at the arrow of the F, and the resultant from the starting of A to the ending of the D. So R is the resultant. Now in this way we can also add the given vector. So R is equal to A plus B. A plus B, first we had A plus B and then C plus D. So this is the resultant of the vectors more than two vectors. It is known as polygon method. In this way you can add the given vector. Addition of more than two vectors. The vector need not to be added in order seen in the last slide. Vector C may be first added to vector A, then vector D, and finally vector B. Means it is not necessary that you can add the vector in the given order. You can add in any order, but the direction will remain same. So the resultant is R dash is equal to A plus C plus D plus B. Means we had changed the order and the resultant is now same. Means R is equal to R dash. So we can say the vector addition is associative. If three or more vectors themselves complete a triangle or a polygon, then their sum vector of the resultant vector cannot be drawn. It means that the sum of these vectors is 0. It is very important line. If three or more vectors are given and you are adding them by drawing the triangle or any polygon, and if they are making a complete figure, means we are not going to draw the resultant, it means that their addition is not possible. So again I am reading this. If the three or more than three vectors themselves complete a triangle or a polygon, then their sum vector or the resultant vector cannot be drawn. It means that the sum of these vectors is 0. Means a complete polygon by the vector is not be a sum. The resultant will be 0. Now how can we find the addition of vector analytically? The first is triangle law of vector addition. This law states that if two vectors are represented in magnitude and direction by two sides of a triangle taken in the same order, then their resultant is represented by third side of the triangle taken in opposite order. Now if you see in the figure, OP is a vector A, PQ is vector B. Now we are taking in them in order. Order means the tail of the B is on the arrow of the A. So this is the order, and to find the resultant we are changing the order. Means from the tail to arrow we are joining the resultant to find OQ. OQ is the resultant. So this is the law. So let two vector A and B be represented both in magnitude and direction by the side OP and PQ. OP is vector A and PQ is vector B, and a triangle OPQ in the same order. The resultant R will be represented by choosing the side OQ taken in opposite order. So this is very important, how to draw the vector to find the triangle law. To find the magnitude of the resultant R, a perpendicular we are drawing from QE or from Q to side OP. OP produce forward to E. So QE is a perpendicular, and angle QPE is equal to theta. QPE is theta, and it is a right angle triangle. QE and Q, it is a right angle triangle. So applying the Pythagoras theorem, OQ square is equal to OE square plus QE square. Now you put all the values here. QE can be written as OP plus PE ka whole square plus QE square. In place of OE you can write OP plus PE, because PE is produced forward. Now applying the addition, A plus B whole square OP square plus PE square plus 2OP dot PE plus QE square, and PE square plus QE square, applying the Pythagoras theorem, is equal to PQ square. So we can use it here. OQ square is equal to OP square plus PQ square and 2OP PE. Now in the right angle triangle, if we apply the trigonometry, so cos theta will be PE upon PQ. So PE is equal to PQ cos theta. So in place of PE we can use PQ cos theta. So in the equation, OQ square is equal to OP square plus PQ square plus 2OP PQ cos theta. In place of PE, what we are using here? We are using PQ cos theta. And what is OQ? If you see the triangle, OQ is R, so we are writing R square. OP square is A square, PQ square is B square, and in place of OP, A is written, in place of PQ, B is written, and it is cos theta. So R square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. So the resultant will be R is equal to under root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Means if the two vectors are given at any angle theta, if you are knowing the angle theta, then you can find the resultant by using this relation. Means we are not going to draw, we are just putting the value in this relation, and we will get the resultant. So this is the analytical method of the addition of two vectors at the some angle. R is equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos. It is very important. And if you see in the figure, the resultant, the direction of resultant is phi. It is represented by phi. So it is also very important ki what is the resultant of the two addition of the vector. If we add two vector A and B, then the resultant is R, and what is the angle of that R we can also find from this triangle. So to find the direction of the resultant, suppose the resultant R make an angle phi with the direction of vector A. Suppose the vector R is making angle phi with the vector A, then applying the trigonometry, tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. So we can write tan theta is equal to QE. QE is the perpendicular and OE is the base. So QE upon OE. So in place of OE we can write OP plus PE. Now what is OP? OP is A and PE is B cos theta. So we can put the value here. To find QE, we consider triangle PEQ. If you want to find the value of QE, you can consider triangle PEQ. So in triangle PQ, sin theta is equal to QE upon PQ, or QE is equal to PQ sin theta, or B sin theta. In place of PQ, we can use B. B is the magnitude of PQ. So you put the all values in the tan phi is equal to QE upon OP plus PE. So tan phi is equal to, in place of QE we can write B sin theta, in place of OP we can write A, and in place of PE we can write AB cos theta. So this is the direction of resultant. Tan phi is equal to B sin theta upon A plus B cos theta. It is very important to find the direction and what is the magnitude of the addition of two vectors. So this is called the analytical method of addition of two vector by triangle. Now the second one is parallelogram law of vector addition. This law states that if two vectors are represented in magnitude and direction by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram drawn from a point, then the resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of the parallelogram drawn from the same point. If you see the figure, in this figure vector A and vector B both are starting from a common point O. In the previous, when we are adding the triangle, we are using the triangle law, we had put the tail of the B on the arrow of the A, but here the two vector A and B, they are making angle theta with each other. If you see yellow color, it is written theta. So theta is the angle between A and B, and both are originating from the same point. So what we are doing, we are making the line parallel to B by dotted line parallel to A, and the resultant, what we are using, the diagonal of the parallelogram. So let two vectors A and B inclined to each other at angle theta be represented in magnitude and direction by side OP and OS of a parallelogram. So OPQS is the parallelogram. Then according to parallelogram law, the resultant of A and B is represented both in magnitude and direction by the diagonal OQ of the parallelogram. So resultant is OQ of the two given vector at a common point. And the law we are using here, law of parallelogram. So you see the resultant R is making some angle phi from A. In the previous also in the triangle law we are doing the same thing. The resultant making angle phi from vector A, and between two vectors the angle theta is here, and in the same also the angle between two vectors is theta. Now the resultant again the same what we had learned in the triangle law, the same is here. The resultant is A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, and what is the direction of the resultant? That is tan phi is equal to B sin theta upon A plus B cos theta. It is very important to find the resultant, to find the direction of the resultant, because when the question is asked we have to find both the things. So it is very important to learn this relation A square B square 2AB cos theta, where A is a vector A, B is vector B, and we are using a magnitude here, and theta is the angle between the two vectors. Now we are seeing some special cases. The first one is when the two vectors are in the same direction. When the vectors are in the same direction means the theta between them is 0, so that cos theta is cos 0 and cos 0 is equal to 1, and sin theta is sin 0 and sin 0 is equal to 0. So we apply this on the relation. So resultant will be R is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 0. Since cos 0 is 1, so we can write A square plus B square plus 2AB, or it can be written as A plus B ka whole square, but finding the root of that we can write A plus B. So when the angle between the two vector is 0, so the resultant will be A plus B. If you see here it is written A plus B the resultant when the two vectors they have 0 angle between them, or we can say that both vectors are parallel to each other. And what is the angle between them? The angle between the resultant angle or direction find with the help of tan phi. So tan phi is B into 0 upon A plus B, means B sin theta upon A plus B cos theta. So B into 0 means 0, so the total will be 0, means the direction also 0. The resultant direction is 0. So when the two vectors are in same direction, the resultant is A plus B, and the direction of the resultant is 0, means phi is equal to 0. So we can say the resultant R has a magnitude equal to sum of the magnitude of A and B and act along the direction of A and B, means the resultant is in the same direction of A and B. But when the two vectors are at right angle to each other, again theta is 90 degree, so cos 90 is 0 and sin 90 is 1. So we can use again the relation R is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 90, since cos 90 is equal to 0. So we can say A square plus B square under root, which is the resultant. What we are using in the right angle triangle, the Pythagoras theorem, or we can directly use here R is equal to A square plus B square under root. It is the resultant value when the two vectors are at right angle. And what is the direction of the resultant? So we can apply tan phi is equal to B sin theta, means B sin 90 upon A plus B cos theta, means cos 90. So sin 90 is equal to 1, so we can say B, and A plus B cos 90. So cos 90 is 0, so only A will be here, so tan phi will be B upon A. So this is the resultant and the direction of the resultant when the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Now third case, when two vectors are in opposite direction, means theta is 180, so that cos 180 is equal to minus 1 and sin 180 is equal to 0. So what is the resultant? R is equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 180. So cos 180 is minus 1, so we can use A square plus B square minus 2AB, and the identity we can use A minus B ka whole square under root, or we can write A minus B or B minus A. And what is the direction? Direction of the resultant is tan phi B sin 180 upon A plus B cos 180. Putting all the values, we can find the tan phi is equal to 0 or 180. So the resultant and the direction is here when the two vectors are at 180 degree. So we can say the magnitude of the resultant vector is equal to the difference of the magnitude of both vectors and act in the direction of the bigger vector, and the direction is in the direction of the bigger vector. Now very important point is there, note the magnitude of the resultant of two vectors is maximum when they are in same direction and minimum when they are in opposite direction. We had seen this in the previous slide where we are seeing the two vectors, they are in same direction, the resultant is maximum, and when they are opposite, the resultant is minimum. So by seeing all the cases, we understand now कि if the angle between the two vectors are changes, the resultant also changes and the direction also changes. So apply this on your questions, numericals, and understanding. Vector A, suppose vector A, I am saying that vector A means a boat is traveling in direction of east and wind is blowing in the direction of north. So they both are perpendicular. So resultant where the boat will go, that is the resultant. By which speed the boat is going, that is the resultant of that, and direction also we can find by using this concept. So in the question you can convert this laws, triangle and parallelogram, and the resultant R is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. So very important it is to understand theta is the angle between the two vectors, and to find the resultant direction, tan phi is equal to b sin theta upon a plus b cos theta. To revise this thing, apply on the questions, solve NCERT questions, in-text question, and if you have any problem then you call me on my number. Till then, have a nice day.